guys, it's Ned from Comix Connection. I've got Don here and Ben. They're TOs from the store, and we're gonna go through how to play an Aether Revolt League, which we have coming up next Wednesday, February 2nd. What these guys are gonna do is they're each gonna get 2 packs of Aether Revolt, 1 pack of Kaladesh. They're gonna open them up, build a 30-card deck. We'll supply the lands, and they're going to go through how they, what their thoughts are as they build decks and their strategies for their pools, just to give you an idea of what's going to happen. So I'm just wondering, hey, Don, what are you thinking about the league, and are you excited about it?
Well, yeah, especially this time around. Aether Revolt fixes a lot of the problems that Kaladesh had on its own, where some colors just didn't get enough to make certain decks as viable. So this really fixes that. And there's just a lot of interesting cards in the Aether Revolt set in general that just seem fun to play.
Cool. What about you, Ben?
I'm actually really excited. Granted, I don't think I'm going to do as well as I did in pools like I did last league. I got 2 Chandras. That was like pure luck that I got those. But the nice part about Aether Revolt, and it goes with any second set, is it's a lot of support for the entire block itself. And Aether Revolt has a lot of support for the other colors for themselves. It's not just, oh, look, here's my big bomb that's going to destroy everything. It's, oh, well, this will work with this card now, and then this makes this card work a lot better than what it used to be.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat synergy between the cards. So I'm really excited because one of the things that the league does is it requires us to play different players. So a lot of times on Friday Night Magic or Wednesday night when we play, we get in our little cliques, you know, because we have friends and we're playing our friends. With the league, you're required to play 5 matches. You can actually play more than 5 matches. They're 1-game matches, and we ask that you don't play the same person each week. After week 1, you can purchase another pack to add to your league box. If you lose 3 games in a row, you can also add another pack too. So if you get some really lousy pulls and you start getting annihilated, you get a chance to add some more cards to that. All of the cards that you add to your box are considered part of your sideboard, so you can rebuild your deck over and over. And I'm kind of interested to see what happens with that, how we start off with decks and what they end up with at the end of week 4. So we'll see you at the league. Hey guys, it's Ned from Comix Connection again. Don is here. He's a TO from our store, and he's going to go through opening some packs and building an Aether Revolt League 30-card deck. Go Don.
So what's up guys, it's Don here. I've got all my packs in front of me, so we're just gonna get started. Generally speaking, with League, what you wanna do to start is you want to immediately open your packs, take out whatever token and land you get, and you kind of want to take a look through your cards, see generally what you have. The first pack rare I got was a Bomat Courier, which is pretty decent in a deck that's pretty much gonna be filled with artifacts. If you know anything about Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, most of your cards are gonna be artifacts or have some kind of artifact theme. So that's a great rare to open. Just taking another quick look. White and blue were most of my uncommons, and another colorless artifact for uncommon. So already looking kind of good there. A couple other blue cards kind of show up, but nothing immediate. Besides looking at rares, you also kind of want to look at what removal spells you open. And my removal right now is actually in blue with an Aether Meltdown. Kind of works. Nothing's going to be perfect, but that's kind of what we got to work with. Let's start with Aether Revolt, what really matters. So, for any people who are unaware watching, most of the cards in Aether Revolt are completely designed around either the new Revolt mechanic or Improvise, which means you're going to need artifacts or pretty much any type of artifact creature that can work with Improvise, or any kind of thing that can leave the battlefield in order to get Revolt, if you're going to build around those mechanics. Right now, I'm not seeing too much. My rare is the black legendary Yanni. She's a 2/2 with haste. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you can put a 1/1 counter on her. And whenever you sack another creature, she gets indestructible until the end of the turn. Really strong actually, especially if you can get enough removal spells in your deck that tend to fluctuate a little bit more towards destroying things outright and not just kind of pacifying them, such as cards like Caught in the Brights, which happens to be a white removal spell that's very good. So white-black seems to be pretty good. I could still maybe splash red for the Bomat Courier, but that kind of seems where I'm going. I got a little bit more blue removal if I wanted to splash blue, but nothing too great. I did get one piece of the Saheeli Rai combo that everybody's talking about, the crazy cat lady thing. I got a Felidar Guardian. It's one of the more popular cards from the set. It's a 1 white and 3 for a 1/4. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile another target permanent you control, and then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So you can do this with planeswalkers that have minus abilities. That's what a lot of people are talking about. Or you can do it with kind of anything. For example, you could take your Caught in the Brights. It's on a crappy creature that you don't want on anymore. You could bounce it and then put that onto another bigger creature that your opponent plays. Kind of useful if you really need to move around some of your lesser useful removal spells. A lot of these cards don't seem too great to start, but I did get a little more removal with Cruel Finality. It's not the greatest removal spell, but it'll definitely do in a pinch to kill something small. And out of everything else in the pack, I'm also noticing this Countless Gears Renegade. He's a 1 white and a colorless for a 2/2, and if I can revolt him, I get a 1/1 with him, which is great. We're gonna open up our final pack. It seems like to start, I'm looking at white and black as my colors. I'm gonna take this Bomat Courier out of the way temporarily. Let's open that up. Token and land. Holy crap. Masterpiece. So I got a Staff of Domination. So if you're not familiar with the Kaladesh or Aether Revolt set, Masterpieces or the inventions are a cycle that Wizards has done to reprint powerful artifacts from the past. I got the Staff of Domination. Is that looking good? So it's a very versatile type of artifact. So for 1 mana, you can untap it. So if you have anything left over in your mana pool at the end of the turn, you want to use multiple sweet tap effects, go for it. For 2 mana, you can gain a life. For 3 mana, you can untap a creature. For 4 mana, you can tap a creature, and for 5, you can draw a card, and each of these are tap effects. So, for example, you can pay the 2 mana and tap it to gain a life. You can pay the 5 mana to tap it and draw a card, and if you have the additional mana during your turns, League games tend to go a little longer sometimes because there's not a whole lot going on. You got to figure out your way through your board states and how your fights are going, but this thing can really help control a game out, and this is definitely going to be a great piece of kit to have in my fights ahead. So it's looking pretty strong to stay in those colors. Since I've opened all my packs now, you might be figuring, well, I've only got a little bit here. Most League decks tend to fluctuate towards 17 spells and 13 lands. And it's definitely looking that way this time around, so I kind of want to fill out my curve. So for the 17 spells I need to play, I've already got, I almost feel bad touching this without sleeving it. But
That's really the stores, you know.
I know.
Just kidding. That's yours.
Yeah, but definitely 8 cards automatically that I want. Now, figuring out the rest of your cards kind of comes down to what you have. So I like to follow the anagram, thank you, the anagram of bread, for anybody who doesn't know it. Bombs, removal, evasion, attackers, and defenders. It's how a good player sometimes can figure out what they want to play in draft and stuff like that. For my bombs, cards that I hope can get me a game, thinking Yanni, the Staff, bigger creatures like this Fenholer with Improvise, if I choose to play artifacts, seems pretty good, and it can't be blocked by artifact creatures, which there are a ton in this set. And it seems like I've got a little bit of artifact love in some of my packs just grazing through. So definitely worth playing there. I got another Countless Gears Renegade and a Hidden Stockpile in that. So definitely looks like white-black artifact seems good. So we'll play those. And then besides your bombs, you want removal. And for removal, I managed to pick up a Caught in the Brights. I got a Cruel Finality. This Gifted Aetherborn isn't really removal, but it does have Death Touch, which is very relevant. Just taking a quick peek. I got some protection from removal, which is always good with a Built to Last from Kaladesh, so that's definitely going to get in. Another way to protect myself using Renegade's Getaway is definitely not bad. Since it seems like I'm going to be in a somewhat creature-thick deck, even with artifact creatures, I got this Dawn-Feathered Eagle. It's a 3/3 with flying for 5 mana. When it enters battlefield, creatures I control get +1/+1 and gain Vigilance, which is really good in these grindy games. I got 2 of this Countless Gears Renegade, which is fine. This Guardian, the Aerial Responder. I got a Hidden Stockpile. Let's pull that out of the way. It's a 2 mana enchantment with Revolt. Beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, you can create a 1/1 servo. And if you pay 1 mana and sack a creature, it doesn't have to be the servo you make, but anybody, you can scry at 1, which is great. So we'll put that in. I think I've almost got it down. I think I just want a few more creatures that can really round the deck out. So at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm in white and black. The other colors just don't seem that strong, so I'm just gonna pull anything that really seems like it's just not gonna make it in, and my colors out of the way. If anybody's interested, my last rare in the pool was a Release the Gremlins. It was, I think, in the same pack as my Staff of Domination, but it's a red and double expert sorcery. Destroy X target artifacts, create X 2/2 red gremlin creature tokens. This type of card could be really good. Some people might immediately pass it up, but in a set that's all about artifacts, you can easily destroy a bunch of your guys' stuff and they get a bunch of 2/2s to work with, which is always good. I got a Sky Skiff, which isn't terrible if you need to have flyers, which probably will be a thing I'm gonna need. I'm trying to see, do I have a big energy theme going on? Because I got this decoction module. 4 mana, return a creature you control to its owner's hand, can help trigger a revolt. I just need to figure out if I can get anything in the deck that can help with energy, but it doesn't look like it here, so I think maybe this guy might sit out for something a little better. Got that Malfist squad. I got a Propeller Pioneer, which is a perfectly fine 4 mana dude. Let's go ahead and do a final count. Remember, we won about 17 here, spells in general. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 creatures, it seems. Okay, we got about 11 creatures. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other spells. So a little high, just got to tick something off the list. We definitely want to keep the removal, so Caught in the Brights, Cool Finality, make it in. The Staff's definitely being played because I'm that kind of guy. We'll take the Stockpile because it seems pretty good. We'll do Built to Last. Actually, I think we're going to take the Renegade's Getaway. I don't have a ton of artifact creatures in my deck, so Built to Last, getting something to be indestructible is probably not going to be as common. And you can always keep your cards, like Ned said earlier, you get to keep everything as your sideboard. And we'll definitely take the Sky Skiff. Seems pretty good. I don't have a ton of flyers, so that'll help there. And I think that's going to be my 17. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Yep. We'll do that. Now, the last part of building a deck is getting your symbols together, so we'll go over that really quickly. Let me just get all these guys out of the way for you guys. Now, everybody does their mana a little bit differently, and I try to get mine done pretty quick, but pass me that if you don't mind. I like to use a little pen and paper, or in my case, I just have an electric pad. Doesn't really matter how you do it. But let's go ahead. I've got double colored cards, my black cards, my artifacts, and then my white cards will go here. So let's just go ahead. You want to count the symbols, not how many cards you have. The symbols are more important than actually figuring out where your mana is going to go. A lot of new players tend to make this mistake when building their decks and they don't know why their mana is not working properly, and that usually is a good sign. So to start, we're going to do black 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8 black symbols. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white symbols. So we're pretty even, but I'm still going to need a little more planes, especially if I want to play some of my earlier drops on time. I got 2 2/2s and a 3/3 that, well, a 3 mana spell that I might want to cast, and if I want to get the hidden stockpile online, I'm going to need white. And black seems like it could wait a second. My one I guess automaton isn't white, but it has a white activated ability that I might want to get online sooner than later. So we're probably going to want to go with 13 lands, probably going to want to go 8/7, I think. Yeah, 8, no, that's a little high. We'll do, out of the 13, we'll take 8 and leave 5. No, we'll just do 7/6. We'll keep it, yeah, just a little bit different. And I think that's going to be my league deck. It seems pretty strong. Pulling the inventions, just insane. This is definitely going to help my matches, but I think I'm good to go.
Wow, that was an awesome pull.
I cannot imagine anything better.
I'm pretty jealous of you right now. Thanks, Don. That was awesome. Don's going to add his lands to it, and Ben's up next. He's going to build us a league deck also. Hopefully he'll get some sweet pulls too.